Homeland Secretary Committee, I should say, Homeland Security Committee, Republicans dropped the hard, painful facts on Secretary Mayorkas at a hearing yesterday. This is how it started. Watch.
You've made this country, sir, a far more dangerous place.
While you assert that shall detain is what you want to do, what you agree the law says, we're leaving thousands of beds empty every day.
You've allowed the cartels to make billions and billions. As a matter of fact, you're probably the best business partner they could ever have.
His service as secretary has left a scar on our nation's soul that may never be removed.
Do you continue to maintain that the border is secure? You said yes, and it's getting more secure every day. Do you still say so?
Congressman, with the resources and the authorities that we have been provided, it is as secure as we can make it.
In focus with me now, Republican Congresswoman Cammack of the great state of Florida. She's the member of the Judiciary Committee and Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. Look, I want to compare and contrast now. How should this go? How did it go the more than one time that they impeached former President Trump? I mean, are we seeing some special treatment, irregularities, or anything different with Mayorkas that's notable?
Oh, my gosh, Harris, where to begin? You know, those clips absolutely infuriate me listening to Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who clearly at this point, he might as well be listed as the Secretary of Cartel Security, because he's doing far more damage to the United States and helping and facilitating the cartel's business and illicit activities than he is anything else. So what we're seeing right now playing out in real time is essentially a departure of 200 years of precedent, a total violation of constitutional precedent and tradition. What we are probably going to see is Chuck Schumer unceremoniously move to dismiss or table the impeachment inquiry and the trial. Why that is such a big disservice to the American people is because there is evidence, mounting evidence every single day of the negligence of this administration, which is a direct tie to his performance. Not only has Alejandro Mayorkas lied to Congress, I have been in the rooms as a member he has lied to, but he has taken 51 specific actions to undo border security that has made us less safe. Just ask Laken Riley's family. Just ask the thousands of Americans that are now angel families as a result of the open border crisis. So they're going to try to dismiss this, but it really flies in the face of not just the Constitution, but the will of the American people, which is exercised in the people's house. We need to impeach him.
And look, he's no friend of the people coming across the border who want to do it the right way either. Or for that matter, some of the children who are being dragged by the cartels that Mayorkas admitted he didn't know where 85,000 of those young people were at one point in Biden's administration when he was on the Hill. He still said on a second question at a different hearing, he had two bites at the apple, still couldn't account for the whereabouts of all those children. I mean, it's a sickening situation, whether you're an American or someone trying to be an American crossing the border. All right, millions of illegal immigrants pour over our border every year. We know that. We got a really tough number this year, though, of what it's been like under Biden, 7.2 million. Under one president, less than one term. Criminals like Jose Ibarra, suspected of murdering 22-year-old Georgia nursing school student Laken Riley, who you just mentioned, Congresswoman. That happened in February. Senate Judiciary Committee ranking member Lindsey Graham says the administration made a big admission to him. Watch this.
Parole due to detention capacity at Central Processing Center in El Paso, Texas. Now, that's what his file shows. He wasn't paroled because he had a unique benefit to the country or they had a humanitarian need, as the law requires. He was paroled because of capacity problems.
Senator Graham then added the Biden administration is breaking the law at the expense of innocent Americans. Former acting Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Ken Cuccinelli wants everyone to know the names of those innocent Americans. Here he is at a House border safety hearing yesterday.
But it is the individual human cost that remains most alarming. The ever-growing number of American victims of illegal immigration, including Brandon Michael, Kate Steinle, Molly Tibbetts, Sarah Root, Brandon Mendoza, Ronald Da Silva, Kayla Hamilton, and, of course, Laken Riley, not Lincoln.
Ooh, yeah, and we know that that was not even a dig, a fact check of the President of the United States who could not say her name under pressure at the State of the Union. pressure put on by himself because he's broken the border situation for this country. There's so much to get to. I want you to jump in with what you want Americans to know, top line today.
Oh, my gosh. Harris, you know, we've been talking about this, and you've been a champion on this issue, really highlighting how the left, and particularly this administration, they've adopted the 1984 Orwell newspeak, where they relabel terms to make you feel a little bit better about things. So instead of calling it catch and release, they're calling it paroling in country. That is what House Republicans have fought furiously to stop, and that is what we're fighting today to stop. But I think more than that, accountability has been lost in Washington, D.C. That is why this impeachment inquiry and the subsequent trial is so important. A motion to dismiss does nothing to hold them accountable or highlight the fact that what they're doing is deliberate, not by some measure of, just nilly-willy. What is needed is for the American people to hear the evidence and understand that there are still consequences in this country. I think that the American people... I'm sorry, go ahead, Harris.
I just want to know how the process works. I mean, could they call you in the Senate to testify? I mean, I'm just curious. There's such evidence in the House that's gone forth. Is that even a possibility? I don't know how it works.
Well, we know that the facts are incredibly destructive to the political narrative that the Biden administration needs to push. So they're going to do everything they can to ignore the facts and the truth. That's why they're going to dismiss this afternoon. Let's put them on record as to who thinks that this border is secure. Let the American people see who is in it for real and who is in it for politics. That's what we're going to gain today.
Congresswoman, thank you. Thank you for being on it. Appreciate it.